All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the morning roast. I am, of course, Sugar Chris, and with me today is Mr. Matt Burk,
How you
a
doing, Chris?
old guest of the show. It's been a long time, been a long time. But then again, I can say that about everybody now since I took that long vacation. And I don't know where Sim is. No surprise. Another another sleepy Sim day. To be fair, though, I don't know if he's actually awake or if he even knows about this stream. I sent him a message. I'm going to see if he ever responds. He's probably sleeping. Um, Same with Soul. He probably doesn't know about this stream. I put it in the upcoming, but he might not have seen it. Let's see. But we do have Mr. Mo Biggs. He says, "Man, I get up before the rooster for this show, and it's not happening." It's happening. It's happening. I was a little worried it wasn't going to because I told Matt the wrong thing.
Yeah, I thought it was next weekend too, because I got my head in the clouds right
told
now.
him Friday the 25th, and then I looked and I'm like, wait, Friday's the 24th.
Yeah, it was weird too. And then I got a bunch of messages from like 3 people at once yesterday at night too, and I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh, let me see what that is. And then I was like, oh, snap. Okay, yeah, it's today. Hell yeah, let's do it, Yeah.
And then Jay Ryan singing Alice in Chains. Good band. Love
how's
it.
it going, brother?
Hail, hail.
Yep,
All
yep,
right.
yep.
So what you been up to, Matt?
Man, just lately you've been working on a lot of Hell War, and then I finished that up a few months ago. I mean, well, that's not too current, but yeah, the campaign, the book's done. Right now, it's with the editor. I got back some editing notes last night. I'm gonna meet up with him pretty soon. He's got some great ideas for the book. And yeah, other than that, I've been working on my next book, the Puritanian, and also I'm working on some sword sorcery book called King Crom. The title hasn't been dropped yet, but I'll be doing that for an anthology that comes out once a year.
Ooh.
So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then I'm also working on some other stuff too, other than that I haven't really been talking about. So, but Hell War's done, man. I've been working on this on and off for about 3 years, kind of taking my time, and this is it right here.
The lady with the big boobs. She has an interesting face. I like it.
Oh, that's that right there is that's Hell Nora. So with the story Hell War, she's the goddess of Helheim, and she imprisons. She basically puts a curse on Bert Hellwar, which is our main character, and his brother Wreckbolt, which is the dude with the big bolt on his neck on the opposite side of the picture. And the story takes place in the 1990s, and Hellwar is a bounty hunter. He moonlights as one for her, and he goes throughout the 9 realms of, it's a Norse mythology book, and it's after Ragnarok, and again in the 90s, and the book takes place during his final mission for her. He has to get something for her. She basically tells him, this is your last mission, and then I got one more thing for you, and he's like, I'm not going to do it, but she kind of gets him in a situation where he has no other choice but to do it. And that's where the story kind of goes. It's his biggest mission yet. It kind of tugs at some strings from the past. They come back to choke him out, and he has to deal with some of those things. The story's 106 pages, black and white. The concept for this was I wanted it to look like a heavy metal album, so I'm going to try to print it 11 by 8 by 11 by 8 or 12 by 12 because records are 12 by 12. And that kind of messes with the format, so you're going to get a square book. Also for the art style, it's, like I said, it's black and white, but I wanted it to be really grimy, dirty, sludgy. You're going to get like coffee stains in there. Also, like, you're going to see the whiteout. You're going to see where I photocopied it. You're going to see spatter and all sorts of different things. I'm going to even go in and add more stuff to it. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, that's pretty much some of it. Another big component to it is that he's a mechanic. That's his main gig for Vulking repairs, and he's also in a band called Hell War, where he's the lead guitar player. And if he doesn't, live. If he doesn't play with metal, slay with metal, or work with metal, he turns into the Hellbinger, which is this hell beast, and that's kind of part of his curse that he has with Helnor, maybe or maybe not. He's definitely working for her, and I don't really touch on that too much in the book. There's a lot of things I don't touch on in the book because it's I don't want to spoon feed too much of stuff because it's kind of spoilery when you're reading it. And two, I want it to be a little more mysterious in its Norse mythology. But a lot of the things in here, if you do like a quick Google search or you play God of War, you're going to know. Most people are going to know. But he's definitely not Thor. I'll tell you that much. And neither is his brother. So
it sounds like he's a bit reluctant to do these missions then.
Yeah, at least not really. But this final one, he's like, oh, gosh, man, I got to do it again. All right, I'll do it.
I'm just tired of this.
I have no choice now, But this time he may bring his little brother on to help him out, and his little brother has a power that basically he learns things like really, really fast. He's a fast learner, so he could pick up anything like in 2 or 3 minutes. That's a superpower. That's if you will,
Yeah. Like you told me about coffee stage and stuff. When I was looking at the art there, after we had scheduled and I was looking through, I was like, this art reminds me of a late 80s, kind of early 90s indie book that I would find somewhere in like a flea market.
Exactly.
And stuff. And I'd be like, what is this?
That was the whole aesthetic. Like the idea was that the band actually made the book, and you'd find it like in a back alley in Norway, like in a record store in the 90s, or maybe Sunset Boulevard or Hollywood Boulevard, just in one of those shops, Amoeba Milk Music, or somewhere in the gutter. Like, oh, what's this?
Yeah, so, like there was a book I had one time. It was called what's it called? Dead World?
Oh yeah, Dead World. Vince Locke, that's the artist that did Cannibal Corpse, man. He's still
and the covers always had like these zombies and
zombie
and that's what it kind of reminded me of. I was like,
because those are on the list, brother. Cool. Those are, I got to pick up some of those, man. I think that's Kitchen Sink or Caliber. But yeah, like all those old books, there's a lot of influence that went into this, and I'm real happy with it. Like I said, I've lettered the book twice, and I'm gonna go in and do more tweaks to that, and then I've done like all the sound effects. Like 90% of them are drawn in, but I'm adding more stuff, because at the end of the day, it's like whatever's best for the book, you know what I mean? And again, I got the editor giving me notes that were some cool stuff that I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope, and it's not messing with my vision at all. So I'm really stoked, actually. I'm really happy. Yeah. A lot of different ways. And we got a Preston Azevedo cover right there.
Yeah, look at that. People are probably going to be wanting that cover.
Yeah, so we got a few of those, and he did his, he metaled up his Hell War version. I always love seeing different people's takes on it, and Preston being one of my favorite artists, and I was gifted this penciled cover, and
he's kicking ass, ain't he? I think I see him doing like Soul Reaver and stuff.
Oh yeah, he's one of the top artists in comics right now, especially like in our scene.
I'm sure he's quite in demand.
Yeah, he's getting all the big IPs for sure, and likely, and he's putting his metallic spin on them, dude, and it's just fucking badass, Yeah, and he was like, I'd love to see this with some colors. I'm like, I like to see it with some paints too, maybe one day, but not to be an ass or whatever, but that's not the vision of the book. I want it in black and white with pencils or something, and those are pencils too. His pencils look like inks. Sometimes, and
that's really good for pencils.
And he's like, you want to ink it? I'm like, no, I don't want to ink it. I want that in there, but I did do some runic work on the side, those borders. I drew those in Clip Studio. That was the first venture I ever did in a Clip Studio. I think I did it with the chalk effect or with the pencil, or maybe with both or something like that, but it was fun. And that's a little spoiler on the book too, if you actually get in there. Preston put runes carved into the back. So if you use a runic translator, you can read what those are. He said, do not fuck with my runes. I said, no, sir, I would not.
Don't you do it.
Yeah. And that's he's got the Hellbinger back there too. And then Nora's eyes are creeping in. I love the way he did that too. And I just love,
it turned out quite good.
Yeah. Yeah. And Hell War, he's been around for like 1,000 years. So like with Hellboy, right, you could go back and keep writing stories because he's been around since the Holocaust, That's the
Yeah,
same thing with my character Hell, where I could go back and I could do thousands and thousands of stories with him if I want to. Just this one happens to
do
be,
all kinds of different settings and
dude, yeah.
everything.
And he was a blacksmith too. That's like the main thing. Like a spoiler, there's a famous celebrity blacksmith during the Viking era. A lot of people think he was French, but they don't know, or Norman, you know. And his name was Ufbert, and I'm pretty sure you know who he is. So Hellwar is Ufbert. That's one of the aliases he's gone to throughout time, you know. So that's why the word Bert, that's his first name, Bert Hellwar, you know.
It could be that could be interesting because that was something that what am I thinking? Like The Boys or something. Like some of these shows where they
Yeah.
have like, oh, it's modern day and here's these superheroes and they enter the world at this point. But like The Boys, it's like, oh, nothing really changed though. Like in terms of like history
Oh
from
yeah.
the invention of heroes, everything still played out the same. I always wanted to see where it was like, okay, here kind of like going through the history of your universe and seeing where the points diverge and what new things are kind of come out of it. I think that's kind of neat when stories do that.
Yeah, it's fun to go back and write history for characters. It's, yeah, for me anyways, like I love doing that stuff.
Mo said,
But it's also
King
fun to lose.
Crom, madness, brother.
Oh no, not that Crom. It's Gardner S. Fox's Crom, the public domain character that was first published, first published barbarian. Let me see if I could get it. If you guys want, I could show you a little picture.
We're going to have a sword and sorcery pops.
One sec.
Let's see. And then it says, bow.
Here we go. Sorry.
Oh, all good.
Yeah, so this will be in.
Oh, let's full screen that.
So that's him right there. That's Mike Crom.
Oh,
He's in
sweet.
his bedroom right there, fighting off some dudes. Not spoiling too much. This will be in the Crom anthology. This is a pinup, like a preview. I don't know. It'll probably disappear a little bit. Let me go in.
Can't even get some sleep without people attacking you.
Crom is a public domain character, so like anybody could use him. And I was surprised, man. Like the Kurt Bruegel that does he runs cromthebarbarian.com, and it's another it's a really cool thing where you can submit a story and you're inside this anthology, and if people have different takes on Crom, and he actually he's putting that in the Crom anthology #2, and he's putting a 2-page spread of Hellwar in there. So it's just like really, there's the second page in Hellwar. He goes through this wall. The book starts out in Death Valley. If you guys want, also, by the way, the first 13 pages are up on the site. You guys can click it and it'll take you to the drive.
Oh,
and
okay.
you guys can test ride Hellwar if you want to mess with it. You know, you'll see a little bit of metal isms in there from whatnot, and from metal. You know, the from Metalldom is where there's a little bit of the biker culture that's in the book, and it starts out in Death Valley, California, and he's taking on a group of a biker gang or motorcycle club of the Death Valley Draugr, the Viking zombies. he's there to get something, but he like goes through the first wall, you know, he goes through the wall like in the second page, and there's this dude drinking a beer, and you know he's got his sword is a guitar, and so is his axe. So if he's hitting him with the blade and the strings are twanging, he's still using metal, you know. So he's still playing. Yeah, the metal strings count, man, especially if he's using like an 8-string with a thick gauge, the 12 gauge string. You know? So, you know, the guy's drinking the beer, and then the sword goes through the mug into his head, like, you know, and he's like, and his horse, by the way, is his hog, if you will, is a horse, and it has like tons of exhaust pipes, and that it's his name's Goldmane, and that's a character out of Norse myth too. So, but I know I'm spurging all over, but this right here, this is a poster.
It shows you have passion.
Yeah, I do. I believe I do. I really love this character, and that's why I have to take a break from it for a little bit. And you know, I had like ideas, you know, for a second and third book, but this book has an ending. It's there. It has a you know, a definitive ending, but I do leave a breadcrumb in there. Nothing crazy. But like real big ideas for second book started popping into my head, and I already started jotting those down. But that's the poster you guys get if you guys back just a traditional like print edition. You're gonna get that Hellbinger poster. You're gonna get a glow in the dark guitar pick, and then you're also gonna get a bumper sticker too. So it's a couple of tchotchkes to throw in there.
Oh, that's kind of neat. A guitar pick.
Yeah.
That's different. I remember getting a guitar pick in the Pick of Destiny Special Edition DVD.
That movie's awesome, dude. I love Pick of Destiny, Brutal Legend. Brutal Legend was a big influence on this.
I really liked Brutal Legend.
I love that game. That game was a huge influence on this book. Yeah, not gonna front on that. Yeah, that's the thing too with like if you get a character that's like usually like a guitar player in a metal band, because of Gene Simmons, the devil, he's gonna put that axe to work, so. But I had to like figure out, well, what am I doing? Well, like, okay, I'm gonna do a sword. I'm gonna do a Viking sword. I'm gonna do an Ulfbert sword. That's kind of makeshift guitar, but modernized. And I'm also gonna do a bearded axe. You gotta have the bearded axe guitar. So that was fun to design. But he can make all kinds of stuff, dude. Like I said, he's been around for at least 1,000 years, maybe longer.
Mo said, "Thanks for pointing out she has a face. I didn't notice before."
Yeah, and she doesn't have a nose though. She's a hard character for me to design. I think she came out okay, but it was really hard for me to like kind of be happy with the design because I'm trying to do like my own thing, my little indie book. But at the same time, I don't want to do something that's been done or do what Simonson did with Ragnarok. That's a big influence as well, or what Kirby did with his run. And usually people draw are like half dead, like the top half or the bottom half, or they do the half the face thing, I'm like,
they do the sides.
And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. I just want to do something to her face and make her pale and make her like Big Barda, make her like 6 foot, but kind of muscly, really thick, kind of scary and ugly, but kind of cute at the same time, So yeah. And she's a showrunner though. You see, she's one of the main characters, but she really starts to pick up. If I do the second and third one, she'll be really shining more and more throughout each book. She's going to get bigger and bigger. Her not only her size, she's like kaiju size. She can,
I think she's already big enough.
Yeah, Barda. Yeah, and she's got like a low key kind of likes Hellwar a little bit, and he's like, yeah, you're gross. Leave me alone. But that's the bar right there. Yeah, that's Valley, California. That's him sitting on the hog. He's waiting right there. He's just chilling. There's a quote from his father, or maybe not his father, when the book starts off, and then you see a couple birds up there that may or maybe belong to something. They reference to something, or maybe belong to someone, or they might be scouting something out for somebody. Yeah, so yeah, that was fun.
Now, does his bandmates are they in on the fighting?
No, actually, that might be some of the fun with part 2 if I do that. But they all have, like, if I wanted to, and I could clone 3 of me, I would go make comics for each one of them, because they're all different comic book characters from different. And they're all related to North myth through my interpretation of it, or just through it or something, or they have DNA, let's say, that's tracks to North myth. So I thought that was important for each character, Yeah, but no, like the second one, it's gonna, if I'll spoil it. If I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be a very nautical beach type, fishing village type story, very gray. Even though it's gonna be black and white, but very grayish blue. It's going to be up there in the north, and there may or may not be a boat cruise with metal bands playing on it. So,
let me see what the chat's saying. We got some person. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, some person?
He says, "I'm guessing Sugar missed the abuse from us." All right now. Let's not go that far. Mo says, in his wild party days, Sugar was known as Rosemary. I don't have no like long, luscious locks anymore. So I chopped them off. So no, what do you mean, Rosemary? My hair ain't red. It's a reference to the dress. I know what that is. We got Mr. Brink. Hello, hello.
Brink, how you doing, man?
And some person says, Bat Merc with short hair? I'm guessing you were doing something metal like setting your hair on fire, so it's forgivable.
No, I mean, it was kind of getting hot, so it was getting on fire a little bit, but I usually hack it off every 3 years and grow it back every 3 or 4 years, you know.
Now, see, what crap is this? See, they give you a nice compliment saying, like, oh, you can set your hair on fire, but then I get all this abuse.
Feels great, man. It's nice and like, less weight, you know, carrying it around. It grows fast, so I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, it is noticeable when you get it all chopped off.
I feel it like, oh. No, I have it in a ponytail right now. Boop. Yeah.
It's definitely less maintenance.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Straight up, man. A lot of maintenance in there. But at the same time, you don't got to get a haircut, so it kind of balances out a little bit, you know. At least you don't got to. You can line it up like every few months, not every 2 weeks.
I need to go get mine cut. I haven't done that. It's getting too long.
Yeah, and this is part of the beginning shot right here. He's taking on Hornface. That's the sergeant at arms, you know. And then another thing too, in the second book, I'm going to lean a little bit more into the biker culture too. I want to do more of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just fun. I love it, you know. Like I have a lot of influences. I did little Twitter drops and stuff talking about this. But like I like Sons of Anarchy. I really like that show Renegade with Lorenzo Lamas growing up in the 90s. I thought that was cool. He was a cop, but he was a bounty hunter.
Yeah, I remember it.
That was fun. Like Easy Rider. There's also this really like really kind of old school, you know, charming satanic werewolf on wheels biker movie. You know, I don't know if you've seen it. It's old school, dude. It's, you know,
what is it? Werewolves on wheels.
Yeah, dude, it's dope, you know. And I'm like thinking,
I don't think I've seen that one.
A lot of people haven't seen it, man. It's from like the 70s, 60s or 70s. It's badass, though. It's cool, you know. It's just real rough.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. I ain't heard that one.
Right. Yeah. And this is Garm. That's the Hellhound from that guards the gates of hell. You know, there's no more Fenrir. You know, and he's around. He talks a lot of trash. And right there, like Bert he's just had it. He's over it. Also, his brother hears him all the time. He's off like maybe 2 miles away, and he could hear him like in the background talking. You know, and he's like, "Oh, just shut your mouth." You know. So his brother wants a piece of him. I'm not gonna lie. His brother's name is Wreck Bolt, and he wants a piece of him. You know. So
nobody likes the poor guy. So I'm gonna hang out and play my guitar.
Yes, dude. He's right there. It's his, you know, this tranquil spot. He has a cabin up in Big Bear. The first part of the book takes place in Big Bear. I thought it was important because a lot of like a big chunk of the metal scene was, you know, over like in Europe and, you know, at that point, but also in LA, dude. Let's face it, you know, like the Sunset Strip, there was a lot of bands playing down there at the time, and Hellwar was definitely playing there in this book. But in my version, it's Hell Weird, or it's Holly Weird. That's the name of it, Holly Weird. And yeah, right there, he's got a little cabin up at Big Bear because it kind of reminds him of home a little bit, you know. Maybe not. He is from the Northlands, I call it the Northerlands in this mythology.
Yeah,
but he's got one of the road captains chained up in the back of his tour van. I call his tour van's called the Rolling Cage. So he may or may not be sipping from an Odin horn filled with mead right there, playing his guitar, relaxing. And again, his anatomy is all screwy. I really want to do something different with the anatomy in here, like just kind of make it really goofy. I love the way they do the Street Fighter books, the comics. I love that, and just a lot of the body dysmorphia. I just really wanted to lean into that, and a lot of
really stylize it.
Yeah, not all the time. You know, every book's different, bro. You know, but that's kind of how I want to do Hellwar, and if I do further books, it's probably gonna stay that way, and if I don't, it might loosen up a little bit. But that's how I saw this, and it was really fun. A lot of veins.
Is that a dragon?
Yes, it is. That's actually Nidhogg. He plays a major role in the story.
Oh, okay.
So another thing with my version of the Norse myth, I wanted it to all be on Earth. So different countries, you got like up in Scandinavia, you got, Finland, you have, Iceland, Norway, Denmark, the Faroe Islands, Sweden, all those different places. I wanted different parts some of those countries are going to be different realms, and a lot of them are connected through cave systems that go down. In these caves, they kind of morph into these roots that go down into the center of the earth, like Burroughs Felicidor. And so the bottom, the roots of the world tree, they are Yggdrasil. That's where they go. They go down into the middle of the hollow earth. And Nidhogg, he's this elder like timeless dragon, the root gnawer. He gnaws on those roots, and he's weak as hell in this book. So he's just not, because it's after Ragnarok, and he really doesn't have much power. The gods aren't relevant anymore. The gods' bodies are like scattered throughout the earth. So like Jormungandr's like remains, part of a big chunk of his like skeletal remains are in Norway. And there's these black metal elves, these dark elves. They built a city within that, it's like a city street that goes in there. And Bert and Rekbolt got to go there, and they end up like jumping on stage and playing with one of the bands. It's pretty fun. Yeah. And that's a scene right there. That came in like a dream I had, where I had him and his brother playing on stage, and then all the lights go out, and then you just see these corpse painted black metal elves with face filled with teeth, filled with shiny teeth, just kind of gleaming up at them, like, okay, tough crowd,
Rough.
Yeah, that's a line I put in there. Tough crowd, right there.
Mr. Brink says, how long have you been working on the comic?
For sure, off and on 3 years. Yeah. Yep.
So this has certainly been a passion project.
Yeah, definitely.
Mo says, you get compliments and I get all this abuse. Someone's fishing for positive comment. Cards to get that raise at Dress Bar. What? I don't know anything about Dress Bar. What are you talking about? Positive comment cards. Dang it, Mo. I don't even know what that means. Some person says, we need to get Sugar and Alice Matt in the same room. Mo. Oh, I haven't spoken to Alice Matt in ages.
Yeah, I went on his show like about a month ago. That was real fun. I had a great time on there. He's a good guy. Yeah. Old school dude.
Yeah. And Mo says, I love the body dysmorphia. Come on, Matt. Sugar's trying to move away from the red dress there. Hush up, Mo. That's not body dysmorphia. I know what I am. I'm all man, baby. People. Oh, be quiet. Yes, calm down, Mary. And then we got, what is he wearing there? He's got a helmet on.
Yeah, one of them's got a helmet. One of them's kind of got this. They both got helmets, actually. One of them's the Hellbinger, and the other one's the road captain. They're about to go toe to toe out in front of his cabin. Pretty fun fight sequence, and I was taking influence from like 300 and different forms of different aspect ratios of comics and graphic novels, and a lot of it too is inspired by like Mad Magazine and Calvin and Hobbes, the way they have that kind of structure when you're reading the funnies. It was real fun doing paneling like that.
You said that other places would be like other realms. Does that mean other like mythology will be involved?
No, not. I mean, possibly in the future, but right now it's just Norse.
Okay.
But definitely I would do Greek too, because that's just fun. So, but I never ventured down there. But yeah, what? I never really thought about it. But yeah, I guess I would, if other mythologies would have happened, some of them, in this world. So you would see remnants of different, and if you think of these mythologies, they're gone from throughout time and different cultures and races and countries. These gods are no longer relevant, so
yeah,
they're gone. A lot of, because no one cares anymore. They don't pray to them,
Yeah.
And that story's been done in a lot of different movies and games and comics, but it makes sense. It's only tangible like thing that we can wrap our mind around, is that no one cares about these gods anymore. No one's praying to them, especially after Christianity came in and took over. There's only one God. And that's what I believe too.
That answers another question I was going to ask. I was going to ask you, since there's all this Norse shenanigans going on, if the religion was still in existence, still had some level of dominance.
And here, a little bit, yeah, there's new religions that have surfaced too as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's always going to be some, and just like in real life, there'll always be people still, practicing. Yeah, and these are just some of the players in the game. So I did little. I was going to do trading cards actually of these, but I didn't end up going with it. But yeah, I always thought those are kind of fun. There's a lot of like ideas, excuse me, I had for this book, but right now I just want to get it printed. Like
Yeah.
one of them was getting the record sleeve. I wanted to put it in a record sleeve, so you get the whole package. I want to do a full album, but we got to do one song, Hell War. So that's up on my
Cool.
YouTube channel, and there's a link in the update. You guys can go there and download it from Bandcamp, I think. I forgot the name of it, or SoundCloud. Sorry. You go there, and then I also wanted to do tour shirts, where different places he's gone with the band. I thought that would have been a fun thing.
Yeah, that'd be a fun little idea.
Yeah, tons of stuff I wanted to do, but yeah,
but you always got to factor in that cost, though. I'm sure it ain't cheap to do those things.
Not, and printing just went up since I started the campaign. It went up like $800.
Oh my gosh!
So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to kind of keep shopping around and looking for it, But it is what it is. So
yeah,
and it's not like it's black and white, but the format is big, dude. It's a big square book, so it's going to cost more to print it, And then the price of printing went up on top of that, so I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll figure that out. If I gotta fork up some of my own cash, I'll do it.
Some person says I'm all man, baby. Sugar. Oh, come on! You can't call me a man, baby. We're all here talking about comics.
Right.
We got Dockle. Dockle, I guess that's one of the dark elves there.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the dark elves. He's one of the he's in a band too. He's a singer of one of the bands that headlines at one of the shows. There's a place that they play at. It's like a homage to the Whiskey a Go Go. It's a place down in pretty famous spot in Hollywood. But in here it's called the Raspy. It's owned by Rasputin from yeah, and he's in there. So I kind of wanted to do something with that character later on. Have some concepts and ideas for him. He's been in comics famously with Hellboy, and he had his own solo run, I think, in Image, which was a pretty crazy book. Yeah, yeah. So I thought that would have been a fun thing.
Make some concept art.
Yeah, these are like the turnarounds I did. I'm gonna put some of that stuff in the back. I want to do a bunch of back, back matter, I guess, if you want to put it, behind the scenes stuff, page breakdowns, artist gallery. I had some other artists doing some work, some pieces that I'd like to print. So hopefully if it works out, get funded, it'll be awesome.
Chained up.
Yeah.
Looking rough.
Yeah, pretty rough, man. Even rougher for his little bro. He gets out, he gets back in the chains. It's a little morph page and morphing into the Hellbinger. I look forward to drawing more of those pages. I love drawing and morphing, like Hulk Banner turning into Hulk and stuff like that. There's just a lot of the body horror you can do with it. A lot of fun. I didn't want to overdo it either, so I just kind of had the one page in this book, but there's a little bit kind of it throughout. He has, thing is, on his left arm, Chris, it's got stone and hair growing out of it, and these 3 belt straps, and if he unstraps the belts, it grows. And part of the Hellbender is kind of engaged, and so he can use that left arm, to
okay,
as a weapon. I thought that would be pretty fun. He's got these 4 bear claws that come out too. But they break off. So if you like uppercut some dude into the roof, the dude's like, you can break the claws off and punch another dude. So it's fun, dude, thinking of the gags like that. That's something I love.
Creative with it.
Oh, dude, I've suffered many headaches from just writing because I write the gags, and then I try to act them out a little bit. Like, how does that work? How's this gonna go? And then I try to remember where the continuity is. Did he throw the punch with this left hand, and is he going to come with the right? All that stuff I think all that, man. To me, it's just as important, the fight choreography, as anything else in the story. And it's, for me, I love fights in my comics. I think it's really fun to I think it's really cool in the story. I don't know, but this definitely has a tone of like Army of Darkness too. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. I'm still waking up. I haven't had my coffee yet. Wah. Drinking water right now.
I told Vinny the other day we started watching again Evil Dead, the show.
Oh yeah, I love that show. That's my favorite.
Because I never finished it. So me and Mom started watching it again. We watch it here and there, an episode here and there when we're eating.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's such a good, like, from what I've seen of it, it's such a good show.
Mm-hmm.
It deserves more.
Definitely my favorite, like, franchise. I love Evil Dead.
You can tell they really liked, that universe and put love into it. Tried to keep it true to the the whole thing.
Yeah, there's just like endless possibilities with that, and it's just like favorite show, and it sucks that we're what's happening to Bruce Campbell. He's irreplaceable too, and you could do a lot with that. Like they could bring in another character, but he's got to be more badass than Ash. And Ash is like he's like my top 3 favorite characters. So you'd have to have someone that's cooler than him to take over. It can't be someone just as good.
That would be the hard part.
It's almost impossible.
I think they could continue it maybe with the 2 characters, the girl and the boy.
That could happen. That could be fun. But I love that strong lead, bro, like that badass, like that. But I had one idea that I think could kind of work possibly. Would be like a crossover. The Nicolas Cage character Red from Mandy. I think he could come in there for a story or something. I think he would be great. That logger from the Pacific Northwest, that big axe that I don't know if you've seen Mandy, but if they did a version, but it'd have to be like in the 70s or something. He makes this metal axe.
You think, is that the one where he's like in his underwear, set and screaming?
Yeah. He's going the cagiest of cage like ever, and he pulls out the bottle of vodka.
I've seen it.
That movie's so metal, dude. He does the biker demon coke, and then he fights the biker demons.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Have you ever seen the movie where there's like something that's like it's like some like it's supposed to be like, I guess it's some sort of like disease or virus or something, and it causes all the like parents to want to kill their kids?
Yeah, the one with him and I think it's him and Selma Blair, I think.
Yeah,
that movie was decent. It was entertaining. Like everything he does is entertaining, even his bad movies.
I like Cage.
You do? You like him?
Yeah, I like his stuff.
Well, to me, he's like the modern he's like the modern Hammer actors, bro. He's like Cushing, Lee, and Price all cooked up into one. And he does some trash, but he also does phenomenal stuff. I love Mandy, like that movie. And that movie was more for like Jason Momoa or someone like that, like that's who he wrote it for, the Panos Cosmatos. But he's like, no, Cage came in and he just was great, and that movie's in the 70s. So like, and so is the first Evil Dead. So I could see him like crossing over into that, like that. Yeah. And that's its own lore, dude. Like that thing has its own, because they have so many of these weird drugs in that movie that don't exist, like that insect. And anyways, I'm spurging.
Let me see. Some person says Sugar looks groggy. He must have stayed up late at the old watering hole. That's the name of the gay bar here. So, hey, come on now. I've never even been to a bar, let alone that kind.
Yeah, bar's not really a fun place to be. It's like a lot of bad things happen there usually. Usually someone wants to, pick a fight.
Yeah, I'm not a fighter, so I'd lose. I have a feeling. Mo says, this is going to make a great third arc for my comic series, From Lady Boy to Ladies Man, the retro comic. Come on.
They're never going to let you live that down, dude. Even after you could die and be resurrected and you'd still come back, and they'd say, oh, you're really going to come back like that without your dress on? Really?
This is why I don't tell anyone at church about my YouTube channel.
Yeah, they wouldn't get it though, man. They don't know the fun of it,
Sugar used to like to act out gags too in the bathhouse, but those days are behind him. Let's leave it in the bathhouse. I was never in a bathhouse. Jay Ryan says 13 Monkeys. I don't think that wasn't the name of that movie.
12 Monkeys. I don't know. There might have been a 13 Monkeys. I haven't seen it. And Cage has had so many like movies I want to see that came out in the last 20 years. Haven't seen Pig yet. Want to watch Pig? Was it Willy's Wonderland? That was another great one. He doesn't say a word of dialogue in there. You know.
What is that one's name?
Yeah.
Is it called? Yeah, it's called Mom and Dad. That's what it was called.
Mom and
The one
Dad.
where
Right?
he goes to try to kill his kids.
Yeah. The whole family, the whole world snapping on their kids.
Yeah, and then like their parents show up and they try to kill them.
It's wild. The Color Out of Space was really good too. That Lovecraft movie.
Oh yeah.
That was great too. He's got a lot of good ones. I wanted to check out The Surfer. That one looked pretty interesting. I haven't watched that yet
I've
either.
never heard of that one.
Yeah, that one's in like Australia. It has the guy that played Dr. Doom in it, Julian McMahon, right before he passed away. And there's a bunch of like Australian surfers he's got to go toe to toe with, I think, or at least kind of look like that, or just something.
But I never heard of that one.
It's interesting. All his movies, they're all like thrillers or something, you know. None of them are safe, really.
Let's see. The putt. Whoa! Come on! Gosh, gross. See, he only says he doesn't drink at the gay bar. Everything I said I've never been to a bar. He never drank. That explains why they claimed he was always thirsty. God. Never fails. Nothing I say. I can't get away with nothing. Oh my. So we got digital options. We got the physical. And then that fancy Preston Acevedo cover.
Sure.
And that one, where is that one? There it is. It's 25. And you can get commission work from Mr. Burk himself.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna throw a couple more pages up there too. Got to get around to doing that. Trying to find some throw up on there. I sold a couple of those, so it's pretty cool. People pick those up. Said, "Oh, I'll try it out, see if it works." You know. And,
you get original art.
Mm-hmm. Those are 11 by 14. Let's say 11 by 17. So there they go. Him and his brother. You know, they're getting their drink on, and then Elnora's coming up with an offer. You know, he's just like, "Get out of here, dude." We're having a beer before we hit the road, before we hit the gates.
We ain't got time for you, woman.
Yeah. He's like, "I propose an off." Nah, get out of here. I propose. Yeah. Right there, he's gonna about to have a couple words with some elves. And his back grows these his horns that grow out of his back, this growth, you know what I mean? And sometimes he breaks them off, and he might weaponize them, you know. It may or may not, you know.
Does it hurt when he pulls them off?
Probably it did like 1,000 years ago. Nah, probably not. You know, the character is very stoic, man. He doesn't. Thing is, he talks, and he does talk shit, but he's not like Lobo. You know, Lobo was a big influence, obviously Thor and Hulk. You know, but he's not spurting one-liners all the time. But he does do them, and they are cheesy. But I wanted him to. That's part of the character from which I based him on too. His you know, I want him to be a little stoic. I didn't want him to be too wordy, but a little bit. You know, that's a big problem. Like when I was writing the book, I actually had to throw away dialogue because I'm like, no, dude, there's 10 pages of fight scenes in here where there's no dialogue. You know, you'll burn some people. You know, it's like a 20 to 40 minute read. The book, it's 106 pages, but you know, I want people to just they get through the book. You know.
Yeah.
So, and then I mean, obviously, you're gonna be it's a comic, so you're gonna be talking shit while you're fighting. But a lot of the time, that kind of slows it down a little bit because if your eyes, you know, moving at rapid pace through a fight sequence, and then a dialogue balloon comes in and punches you in the eye, and you got to slow down and read it. You know.
Yeah.
In real life, you're you know, the people do talk shit when they're fighting in real life. They'll yell it out, you know. You like that? Boom, boom, boom. You know, that does happen. But big speeches, it's kind of like you're usually out of breath, and most fights only last a couple minutes, you know, at tops.
Yeah.
But it's still at the comic, so and these guys may or may be demigods, or they may or may not have superpower, you know. So all that factors in.
Oh, excuse me.
What time is it where you live?
12.
Oh, okay, so you're over there. Okay, yeah, I'm out here in LA, so it's only 9 in the morning over here.
Ooh, LA. Big city.
Yeah,
Cities.
it's LA County. Everything out here is just spread out, though. It's just massive, like huge. It's not like kind of New York where everything's just China where everything's built up. Out here it's just endless sub cities, like forever, like everlasting, never ends, dude. And nobody knows how to drive now either. Everyone's on their phone or they're doing something.
Oh, geez. Yeah, my brother, he went to New York before and stuff, and I don't know if I'd want to go. The traffic there would probably stress me out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get the urge to want to go there, and then sometimes I'm like, nah, I don't think I have to go. I do want to go over the Eastern Seaboard though, and I want to do some conventions, bro. Like that, and then like the middle of America, there's just tons of really cool comic conventions I want to hit up. I'd like to. Out here we have some, but it just seems like they're better in other states. That one in Florida was pretty cool.
I want to go to Baltimore Comic-Con.
Baltimore, yeah.
And I'd like to go to Heroes Con.
And they got some really big indie cons, because I'm really in. I just love just sequential art, like the medium of comics. That includes every style of sequential art, right? And I love indie books. Not all indie books have fantastic art either, dude. Like they have but some of them have really cool stories that are, stories huge. So there's a lot over there though, man. I want to hit up some pretty big ones, some that are growing every year.
Some years back, an indie guy I met gave me he wrote it down to me. He said it was like the mecca of indie comics.
Oh, really?
Stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, you should really go and this and that. Now I can't remember where it was.
Yeah, I know there's one up there like called. I think somewhere like in Maine, or I know that there's a lot though up there, dude. There's one in like Cape Cod. I think there's some in Delaware. I know, but I'm talking, but still, like they're pretty. There's one in New Hampshire. Like there's tons of them out there in New England. I want to hit up. I just want to go out there. I got a buddy that's moving out there too, and then I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just something I'd like to do. I know some people, like once they get financially stable, they do like 20 cons a year. They just hit that circuit. And obviously you can't just sell books. You got to do commissions and prints and things like that, and kind of give people what you want, but do it to where you're expressing yourself artistically. You're feeling your artistic, I guess, itches. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the band's about to play right here. They're warming up. That's kind of at the beginning of the book, after the first 13 pages.
Is that fella throwing up?
Yeah, he's spitting some beer out,
Okay.
Spitting some meat out, That dude's from he's from Hell War, or he's from Butch Cleaver, actually. That's I wanted to tie that in. Butch Cleaver was going to be the singer of the band too in the beginning. My old character from my other book, but I said, nah, I'm going to do somebody else, someone that fits. And I had fun with that character, the lead singer of this band. I'm not gonna say who he is, but he's really important within, I guess, the American language and also Norse myth. But I don't want to spoil who he is. If you look at him, you could probably figure out who he is. But it's definitely not Ragnar Lothbrok. This is just them getting ready, having some fun, getting ready to play on the show.
Mo says Matt is downplaying our biggest Cali convention, Mexicon.
Oh yeah.
Mexicon. Oh my. Yeah, and I need to start going to conventions again. I haven't been to one.
Yeah, me neither. I've been in a minute. The last time it was, I think, the Long Beach Con. I seen like there wasn't that many people there though. It was just a lot of cosplayers, and they weren't really too many. Like there was a lot of people with books, but I don't know, man. It just wasn't really popping, So I seen I was tabling next to the Marv Wolfman, and he was like, he wasn't really moving too much stuff either. So it's just kind of like, oh wow, okay.
I'd like to meet Marv Wolfman.
Yeah, I got to meet him. I told him, hey man, big fan of Blade. Deathstroke, awesome characters. He said he was playing God of War. This was in 2016 16 or 17. This was like almost 10 years ago. It doesn't seem like it, but I was in there in promotion of my first floppy Butch Cleaver, like when I just completed my first comic. I was so happy, you know, like nerding out. I got my book. Ooh, you know, you know.
Yeah.
Marv Wolfman, he's funny. Yeah, my buddy was there. My buddy scooped up a Tomb of Dracula for me. It's pretty cool from him. Yeah.
You know, I always liked his work.
Right.
Yeah, he was one of the few creators I could actually, when I was little, I remembered their name.
Right. It's a pretty metal name, you know.
Yeah.
Walking around, Wolfman, pretty badass.
Man.
Yeah, I'm Wolfman. What? You know? You gonna wolf out on me, bro? Yes.
So he is at 2,107 with 54 backers. He's got 18 days to go, everybody.
About 2.5 weeks. We could still make a dent in there, you know.
Yeah.
I know a few people said they're gonna back on the last day. So, but yeah. They don't take the money out until the last day either. So if you guys want to get in there, get it now. Tell your friends, family, frenemies, you know.
Tell everybody.
Enemies. They all need to know about it.
Strangers.
Hey, go back Hell War or support Hell War on Kickstarter. You got to use the proper verbiage on the different sites respected. Yeah.
Mod me, please. I got his game. Oh, okay. Let me see here.
Thanks, some person, and thanks everybody for coming out. I hope you're having an awesome Friday. I'm still like waking up. I'm sorry, Chris. I don't know what I was thinking.
No,
yeah, yeah. I'm losing my marbles.
Yeah, there we go. Okay,
I'm pretty punctual with time, you know. But this time I
yeah, it's no worries.
Yeah.
Okay, some person. I think you're modded. Let me see. And gosh dang it! Now I can't remember what I was gonna say.
Oh, yeah, I do that all the time, bro. Yeah, the campaign's up, and also, yeah, about 2.5 weeks. You guys got the first 13 pages up there, you know, to check it out. You could take Hell War for a Hell ride, test ride, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So you get a sample. That way you'll know, get an idea on if it's up your alley or not.
Yeah, yeah. The first part of the book kind of takes place in Southern California. It moves from the Death Valley because I want it to be really hot, you know, because these guys, you know, they're kind of like the let's say they work for CERT or CERTer. So they move from there, and then I just kind of hint at it, but anyway, they move from there, then they move to kind of Hellwood, and then they go up to Big Bear, and then they move to Norway. You know, he does travel to Bifrost, so he has a way to use that. So yeah, man, hope you guys have fun with it and check it out. And like I said, the book's done. It's with the editor, so I am going to do some tweaks, but I have the fulfillment set up for November. But I thought it was important for me to have the book to where I could put it out the best I could before I gave it to the editor, before I even launched the campaign. And, you know, now I'm just basically tweaking it and trying to make it even better. So, but the book will be made. It is destined.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and I'll play the trailer.
Oh, thanks.
I've been Hell's bounty hunter for hundreds of years, and if I didn't work with metal, be it by blade, song, or steed, the Hellbender from within would take hold. After Ragnarok, throughout the 9 realms, I became known as Hell War. And I had but one final mission to complete, for Helnora to set me and my brother Rekbold free. This is a yarn taken from the last day of my saga, where some surprises from my past come back to haunt me. In 106 pages of inky black and white, coffee-stained photocopy, gore-shredded Viking metal in a comic, and brought to you by way of heavy metal record size and form. In this campaign, I'm offering physical and digital versions of the book, as well as traditional art, pages, sketch cards, and commissions. And all first day backers will receive a free sketch card of a random character from the Hell War universe, as well as the title track, the MP3, Hell War. Through Hell or War, you're gonna ride with me.
I'm just reading the comments. The Load era. Hey, they're coming out with Load 3, brother. I heard they're going to be doing. I actually like Load. Yeah, I like Load. Hey. Or was that Load?
Hey.
Yeah. No, I like Metallica. You know. Yeah.
Was Whiskey in the Jar Load?
I think that might have been like a Garage Inc. or something like that. You know. It's just like I like the first 3 albums the best. You know what I mean? I was introduced to Metallica through Enter Sandman on the radio. You know, that whole Black album. I like that album a lot.
I was too.
It's just heavy, slower metal. It's just really, I like My Son of Misery. That's my favorite track on there. But yeah, dude, Puppets, Lightning, and Justice. Those are like my favorites. But they got some other ones that are fun, and it is dad metal.
I really like the one song.
Yeah, that song's badass. And I like they're big, like they're fucking nerds, man. Like they're talking like Call of Cthulhu, they're talking about Howard and H.P. Lovecraft. Sorry, well his name is Howard as well, but
the one guitarist he collects comics, don't he?
Yeah, he collects Frazetta art too. Yeah, big Conan fan. He's got some of the best pieces. Hemet. Yeah, there's a picture of him on Twitter now that's circling from back in the day. I don't know if you've seen it. He's got all the stuff laid out on the floor, dude. He's like 20, bro. 20 something. Just got that some of those first like Metallica checks, Check Metallica, like, oh yeah, baby.
It's like I got money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend it.
Yeah. But you gotta have a like certain like Hetfield's got a and then was it Zombie? He's got his yeah.
Yeah.
The yeah. Like there's different. I don't know. Everyone's got their yeah.
Let me see here. Sugar, could I get my managing wrench restored just in case of the unlikely chance that some person goes rogue? You've got a mod wrench. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. There's another mod here that drops links, but he thinks your channel is still dead.
It was nice to see you like pop up, a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I gotta shoot him a DM and see if I can get in there. I appreciate you. It's awesome. If you ever want to come on my show and hang out too, I do like I know you're into that stuff. I do Barbarian Brunch. Usually during the middle of the week, like Tuesdays and Wednesdays and stuff. I'm gonna shift it over to Wednesday now, but it's not like a definitive time. But just throwing it out there, bro. If you want to cover Barbarian and Sword Sorcery stuff, yeah, dark fantasy, that type of shit, fantasy.
This trailer. Oh, we already read that one. Put the link out. Thank you, some person.
Thanks, man.
Check out Matt Burk, the metal cartoonist.
Yeah. Check him out, man. He does live draw streams. I was doing one last night. I usually do those during the middle of the week on my days off when I don't have to wake up early, and doing comic book reviews still, and doing the Barbarian Brunch early in the week one of the days, and also I'm going to be dropping more videos on Robert E. Howard stuff, and he's my favorite writer, so just little topics about his works, and got a lot of passion behind that as well. So thank you for dropping them links.
Have you read the newer Solomon Kane books?
No, I just kind of, I've read the new comics, but not the novels. They just came out.
No, that's what I meant, the comic books.
Yeah, it's okay. The newest one by Zerker, it looks cool. Like the art's, very cinematic, so it does feel like you're watching a movie in that regard. It does feel like it takes place before the movie, which I love the movie. I really do love the movie. I think I put it up there with Milius's Conan, and I love Conan's my favorite movie, but they both suffer from different things. But anyways, the current run, it feels like a prequel to that movie, but I would love to see some other people take a crack at it. It seems like they're just giving everything to Zerker, and he's good, for certain things. I think Zerker does a better job with Conan. Actually, he did a Conan story. I thought it was better than everything I've seen with him for the Kane. I think he's working on the third Kane arc right now for Heroic. Again, a little bit of Kane's better than a whole lot of nothing Kane. But I'd love to see Mike Mignola take a crack at it. I'd love to see Kelly Jones and maybe Matt Wagner do it, because they that would just be like perfect. There's just a lot of cats out there. I also think like Kelly Jones, would really just add something really good to it. And same thing with Mike Mignola, those guys, they really know how to handle that content, that horror, and the shadows, and just give it to a couple other people. There was one though. There was one other a new story, but it was in Savage Sword, but it was only like 4 pages, and it was mostly silent. mostly silent, you know. So I'm just like, you know, I want to see I want to hear my old Yonder, my old English when I'm reading it. And more,
Yeah,
I don't know. There might have been a little bit of that in there, but I don't know.
I wouldn't mind seeing. I don't mind seeing Kelly Jones do anything dark. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's always good
Yeah.
seeing him do anything. It's like,
Oh
cool.
yeah, anything. Like his new Dracula run, astonishing. I had him and Wagner on the show a couple times over the past years because they've been dropping a new. They got one more Dracula book in the mail, and in the fourth campaign is coming up, year 4. So I can't wait to see what they're doing. It's funny too, like without spurging side quests too much. The third book is actually the Count, so it's actually what he's doing within the realm of the actual book, Bram Stoker's Dracula. What, because you don't really know what Dracula's doing. He's just kind of off in the background, but in this one you get to see but the last two are badass, dude. You get the Impaler, and then the second one's the brides. So you see how he met his 3 brides throughout the ages. Very very Dracula meets kind of like Lord of the Rings a little bit, and I love that. You know, I think Dracula is a great character you can really dive into dark fantasy with, and that's something I actually plan on hopefully doing one day, at least one story. You know, because I have tons of ideas. I like the character. I think he's cool. And all those old school Universal monsters, man, they were big. You know, when I growing up, I used to go to the library and pick up those. They had those black and white books with the orange logo. A lot of people know about them. Yeah, so they're seminal. You know.
Let's see. Load had some good songs. It was more a comment on the look.
Oh yeah.
Whiskey in the Jar was Garage Inc.
Okay, good, yeah.
And if you put the best tracks from Load and Reload together and dump the filler, it's a pretty solid album, says Mo.
Yeah, I think when bands like kind of when they break off their sound and kind of sometimes that could really help. You know, same thing with artists. You know, if you're working on the same thing too much, you gotta break off. There needs to be peaks and valleys. There needs to be tonal shifts. You need to appreciate the things you love. Too much of a good thing is bad. Too much of a bad thing is worse. But some bands, though, they could do it. You know, like what is it? Iron Maiden does it. Every album they kind of have a very similar. Amon Amarth kind of does it, but I think they've been handling it very, very well. Really love the Amon Amarth tracking. Seems like every album is just a banger with that band.
Let's see here. Mo says Metallica actually indirectly helped scare Sugar Straight. What? There was a naked mosh pit at the bathhouse. And when they started playing Spit Out the Bone, man,
Well, Big's got to be a writer, man, because he's got these like really like thought out, you know, very visual, you know.
So this was the inciting incident that changed me from lady boy to ladies man.
Like it's like History of Violence, or what is it? Eastern Promises. Yeah. That's a pretty brutal fight scene in there. David Cronenberg, Viggo Mortensen. I prefer that movie's awesome, but I like History of Violence. Oh man, that's a great one. That's a good one.
Sugar got out of there in a hurry and immediately rekindled things with baby. Lord.
Oh.
So don't look like I've seen any new backers. That means I don't gotta tell any embarrassing stories. That's good.
Oh no, man! I just thank you for having me on, man. Thanks for everyone for hanging out right now. I appreciate it, man.
It's all good. You don't have to be thanking me or nothing.
Oh yeah, no, I got you, man.
Actually, speaking of like I guess power metal or something like that music, I'm actually getting ready to listen to a song here after we get done.
Nice.
I've seen Matt Barlow. I follow him on Twitter, and he posted a link to, I guess it says it's Gus G featuring Matt Barlow, Dancing with Death.
Yeah, I love metal. I love all music too, and for me to even appreciate metal, I got to listen to other genres too. But dude, what is it? Demi Borgir's dropping tracks. A new track that was pretty awesome. Devil Driver just dropped a new track. It's really good. If you guys are into new metal, Korn just dropped a new track. I haven't listened to Korn in a long time. That was like one of the.
I haven't either.
I mean, I did listen to them, and I do like some of their songs. It's not really like what I'm more into, like the Scandinavian death metal, melodic death metal. That's my stuff, metalcore. But I do like my black metal, my death metal, all that stuff.
I haven't listened to Devil Driver since like their first album. I liked Cold Chamber when I was
that first album is brutal. Like his vocals, like he's one of my favorite singers. And lyricist too. the first two albums was so brutal with the vocals with Devil Driver, some of his best work, and so was the second album. The second album was my favorite, and then after that, it kind of deviated. But I think the new one, he's kind of tapping into a little bit of that with the new single. It's very biker though too. The new album's got a very biker vibe to it. You know, I'm like, oh, those are the cowboys on their metal horses. You know, that's pretty cool, like the Outlaws. You know, and the singer is he's a biker too, and he's a I guess he's a Mason. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Mason?
I follow him. Yeah.
Wow.
I follow him on Instagram. But yeah, looking forward to that. I recommend that the new song's called "Dig Your Own Grave." It's pretty good. You know, they got the old bass player back too, so that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Iced Earth.
Oh yeah,
I always liked Burnt Offerings and Dark Saga. I love those albums.
Even the Spawn album was pretty good, bro.
That's Dark Saga.
The Dark Saga, yeah, that one's dope. I've only listened to like twice. I was like, this is cool, man. Like there was a Spawn cover contest like 2 years ago, and I did a little short and I used one of the songs on there. Yeah.
And so I always liked Matt Barlow since he was the singer for that period.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to see what this song's like.
Sure,
I'd like to see since what's his name is now out of
prison,
not dealing with the January 6th stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I'd like to see maybe him and Barlow get back together to do something with Iced Earth.
Yeah, man, horrible.
Who knows what'll happen there?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a blood boiler right there. When just talking about that stuff. Woo. Crazy times, man.
Mo says, I haven't thought about corn since that time some Mexican fellas, quote unquote, who sold street corn dodged a city ordinance by hiding the corn in baby carriages and only advertised by wearing corn shirts. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Mo?
Mo's a writer. I'm telling you, man. That's a whole, he got in there.
That's weird. Mexican.
That was quick too, because we just that was like maybe 2 minutes ago, and he already put that in there. Yeah, I love me some Mexican street corn though. I ain't gonna front. It's getting a little expensive though now out here. Like, how about $1? Like $5. Like, ooh, damn, I'm gonna go make my own. Yeah.
I've only had like Mexican street corn, like just what you buy at the store and microwave. I've never had.
Dude, you know what I do?
Authentic.
I get the raw corn, right, and then I put like Cajun seasoning on it. I do like gringo, like Wet Boy style. I get the Cajun seasoning. I put it on that. I put some olive oil on there. I wrap it in foil. Put it on the grill. I flip it a couple times. Take it out. Then I put a little bit of mayonnaise on there because I'm white.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of it.
Put white mayonnaise goes on everything.
Yeah, and then you could do like the Mexican cheese, like queso fresco, but I usually use Parmesan, bro. I use Parmesan, and then I do like Old Bay seasoning on it too, on top of that. Or I'll do and that usually turns out okay. Yeah. And then if you want, you can shave it and put the toppings on like that way, but you get that grill flavor. Sometimes I'll throw some wood chips in there and get that grill smoke.
Sugar lost interest when he realized it was me. Shut up, Bo. Come on. Oh,
you gotta be careful the way you word things on this show, because you don't want to leave an in for them.
Yeah,
you can twist everything.
You can't give them an inch; they take them out.
You got to keep your shields up. Before you drop a line.
I don't catch a break.
No.
Let's see. We got Tommy in the Guinea Pig Collective. Hello, sir.
How's it going, Tommy? Thanks for stopping by, bro. Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, Preston did do a good job with that cover.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's more like the barbarian side of him, because he is a barbarian, at least in Howard terms. The barbarians are the ones with the swords, that use the metallurgy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the savages are the ones that with the stones and the spears and the rocks, like the Picts.
Yeah.
Definitely barbarian though.
So what's your plans after this one?
After this one, I'm working on the Crom story. So I'm gonna do. I already wrote a prose for that, which is okay. It's like my first prose story with Crom. I kind of tried to use what Gardner Fox wrote, because Gardner Fox, he only did 3 comics, and he did that in the 50s. He wanted to do Conan the Barbarian, but I forgot who owned the rights at the time. Told him no, so he said, "Okay, I'll take Conan's God then, and I'll make my own comic, my own barbarian, and just name it after Conan's God." And he did that. He did 3 issues of that, and they're pretty cool. And those you can pick up at cromthebarbarian.com if you guys ever want to maybe write your own fanfic or your own, Crom stories. You can't do Conan, but you can write Crom. And I'm working on that. So I did a story, a prose of that, and then I'm breaking up that prose into, about 30 to 40 page book. And with that, I'm taking out a lot of the dialogue, and I'm doing 9 pages a year. So if you guys pick up Crom Anthology 3, 4, 5, and 6, you're going to get 9 pages of that a year of my story. And I'm going to eventually collect that into a comic book, and I'm going to I'm probably just going to straight up print it and sell it from my website. I'm not even going to crowdfund that. So I'm doing that. And then I'm also working on The Puritanian, and that is a book I'm working on with Brian Christgau. And it's a vampire hunter book, very inspired by Solomon Kane. He's an an excommunicated monk that's an alcoholic, and he's heavily into the occult studies, so that's why he was disbanded from there. I'm working on that, about 12 pages in on that, and we'll be putting that out probably, maybe in another year or so, something like that, maybe more or less. Brian's doing better. He's doing better. I talked to him last night. I got to set up a meeting with him. We're going to go over Hell War a little bit, because he's the editor on that, and then he's writing the Puritanian. I came up with the name and the concept. He's writing. He came up with the story and the origin of the character. So it's like a 50-50 thing now with that. So he'll be writing that and probably editing it too. But he's doing better. And that's pretty much what I'm working on, bro. And I'm also actually building a world. I'm doing some world building, and I'm going to be writing sword and sorcery stuff of my own. It's like, why not? So I'm doing that. And that's what Howard did. So if it was good enough for Howard, then it's good enough for me.
That's right.
He built his whole world up when he was like in his teens, and then he started writing it. People were like, "Don't do that. Just worry about the story, and then build your world after, or something." Me, I'm like, "Nah, I am gonna build a little bit of the world up and the history of it, and then I'll start writing some stories in there. Some pulps that are just action, quick. They're in one spot. Boom, that's in. You get in there, you get out. And then only thing is, I have a main character, and I don't know if I want him to be I don't know if I want to tell like that in chronological order, because Conan wasn't in chronological order, right? It's all over the place, but I kind of want to, in a way. I kind of want readers to grow with the character a bit. Maybe you don't want to ape someone. You got to be yourself, but you can take inspiration from other people. So you got to do your own thing. So yeah, dude, I'm working on that. I know I'm again doing side questing conversationally, but it's a lot of fun, man. I'm trying to include my kids with it too. So
that's good.
When I'm gone, you created these characters, you created that guy's name, you created this world, obviously, like, it's going to be like for adults, but when they're older, they'll be able to go back and look at some things, and they can, obviously I could show them some stuff, but even Conan though, bro, like they show a lot of stuff, but, and it's brutal and gory, and, they have, but there is some bad, there's stuff I won't show my kids, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's also like, I show them Conan the Adventurer, that's a cartoon that's, and then you got Conan Chop Chop. I haven't showed them that yet, but there's some PG-13 isms in there. Show them Conan the Destroyer, a little bit of that.
Yeah. It's always good. Who knows? Maybe your kids will grow up and they want to make some books themselves.
Yeah. I kind of, don't really want them to be honest. It is a hobby. I want them to get out there and just kind of go and live and be successful, but I'm trying to foster like options and really support them in what they really want to do. I'm like, you got to figure out what you really want to do, and you got to kind of start working on it right now, man. Like there's not much time. Have fun, be a kid and all, but really think about what you really want to do. And it's kind of a hard thing to hear from a parent at a young age, man. But it is what it is, and Your job might not even exist in the future, but some things will, like plumbing and heating and electricity, and girls are always going to get their nails done and they're always going to get their hair done, So
Yeah.
like tell my daughter, maybe you might want to think about that as a side hustle, stuff like that, It's a lot of money in there too. Women spend a lot of money on their nails, But then, they're always going to need veterinarians. Kids always, though, you dream big, like you want to be an archaeologist or, an astronaut, things change.
Yeah. It's like, well, let's try for something with stability.
Exactly. Because there's going to be a lot of bots and AI possibly in the future. I don't really know. They're spending trillions on it right now. And I guess a lot of it isn't really what they were hoping, like globally.
From what I've read, they've spent like ridiculous amounts of money and it's had no effect on the economy so far or something.
Yeah, like globally speaking, they've spent like, I think, $1 trillion or trillions, something along those lines, or a lot of billions. And it's not, these companies everywhere globally, they're not happy with the results. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I had to blur that out. I actually did a trailer for Kickstarter, and there was too much violence because there is a lot of gore in here, man. It's a very violent book, and so I had to cover some stuff up. So I had to come up with a new trailer, and I didn't really. It's hard. A lot of trailers for Kickstarter, it's like, "Hi, I'm making a comic book. Come and support." Like they kind of talk about themselves, and
here's my life story. Please.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, maybe I could do old, like tired, like skinny, fat Hellwar, like in a cave, talking about So that's why I did that. Yeah. So
Tommy says, y'all remember Gru the Wanderer, a definite Conan-inspired comedy comic? Yeah, I remember Gru.
Definitely going to cover some Gru content on Barbarian Brunch. Right now,
I had a couple issues of Gru.
Yeah, that's awesome. I met him too. Great guy at
Comic-Con.
Yeah, I was lucky. I got to meet a couple people at Comic-Con like about a decade ago. I used to go with my buddy. But there's a lot of people I still want to meet, like Walt Simonson and Frank Miller. That would be awesome.
I'd like to meet Simonson, and I'd like to meet Wolfman.
I
did get to meet Starlin, and I got to meet Jim Shooter.
That's cool. Yeah, see, I also want to meet Bisley.
I got to meet Biz. Meet Biz. And I got him to do a sketch of ABC Warriors.
Oh hell yeah, dude! So awesome. Yeah, he's in my like top 3. Like for me, it's like Frazetta is like the father of fantasy. Walter Simonson is the master of the macabre, and then Bisley's the maestro of metal. Those are like my part. They're part of my top guys. Yeah, man. So many influences though, bro. It's crazy.
Who says that reminds me of that shirt Sugar wore during his Drifter days. Drifter days. That said "Goo the Wanderer" and had an arrow pointing up. Oh, come on. Did you set him up for that, Tommy? Come on, Tommy. Don't help him. I probably shouldn't have brought up that story. Sugar as a changed man.
Oh, man.
I was never a degenerate like that, Mo. These days, Sugar likes reading Conan for the action and fighting. He barely notices Conan's rippling chest and biceps.
Corded limbs.
His bulging muscles.
Yeah. His corded neck.
Tommy says mechanics. Yep. There will always be a need for mechanics.
Mechanics too. Yeah. 100%. Those are the type of things that's like, we don't want to talk about that, but it's like, nah, we do. I am going to talk about that with my kids. My son wants to be an architect too. He's really into that.
Well,
so
that's important discussions to have.
Like it's like, you probably want to get a business license or business degree. And, if nothing's really popping and if you're not really wanting anything, but might want to lead into a trade too. If you're really not thinking of anything, just get in there and do it. And then you can kind of branch off, especially like when you're 18, dude,
Yeah. I mean, those are conversations you should be having with them at like middle school, high school.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Let's see. Tell us the story of the meeting of Jim Shooter and Jim Shooter. Whoa. Come on, Mo. Gosh,
Oh
I'm
man.
not one of those types of people. Oh, Lordy Lou. Um, Gosh dang it, Mo. Now I can't remember what I was going to say. Shit.
Yeah, we got a little fight scene right here. This is in Death Valley. This character's name is Hornface. That's a good one for Mo. He's gonna probably have something. Yeah. So I came up with that character. He's the sergeant at arms in the Death Valley Drogs. So I had a fun little sword fight right there. That piece is up. If anyone wants to pick it up. And that one I was inspired by watching Rob Roy, the fight scene at the end with Tim Roth and Liam Neeson. Pretty fucking brutal, and I love that movie. Just put that in there. Yeah, a little bit of action. I love that character too. I'd like to have him come back again if possible. Sometimes you make characters and sometimes they don't last, and I don't know, maybe last and kind of miss him.
If he's a drogger, he could come back, maybe.
True that. Yeah.
Garm.
Yeah, he was kind of hard to design. You know, there's so much like beautiful art out there on the internet and different, aspects of different subcultures of what he looks like. So he was kind of hard to design.
There we go. Horn Phase. There hasn't been such low-hanging fruit on this show since Sugar's gym buddy rejected him and Sugar struck him up in the face. But that was the old Sugar. Mo, there was no old Sugar. That did not happen. They say no cops are going to show up at my house. Heard you
Sugar?
might have.
Are you Sugar?
You Sugar?
Come with us.
Oh,
We have questions. Do you have a warrant?
We heard you might be a gym shooter.
Yeah, right. Are you Sugar Shooter?
Have you ever been to a bathhouse?
Yeah, right. We have questions. Yeah.
I would say something, but I'm going to keep my stories for when we get backers.
For sure, man.
I'm not going to tell anything embarrassing. I got to watch myself. But, yeah, I mean, this looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Like I said, when I first seen it, it reminded me of the older, like, indie style with the art, black and white and stuff, and out
100%.
there kind of wildness.
I'm really leaning into that right now. Probably for the next few years, maybe 10. But I love colors too as well, but I also like the really flatty kind of colors from back in the day. Like in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, before the Photoshop renaissance, if you will, that started with Image. But I don't know, I really like the real basic flats, I think it really helps with the line work staying intact, Yeah, so I might try to do that. I might even make a comic on Procreate or not Procreate, Clip Studio just for fun, just to see what I could do with that. Little one shot. I think with crowdfunding, it's kind of cool to do one shot books, because sometimes unless you're putting them out like frequently, because I don't know, it's just.
Well, you got that long wait in between books, and so it's hard to kind of tell the story over that long form if that's going to take years or something to get your books.
Yeah, you have to go back, and sometimes I'm having to go back and reread some books because I don't remember, and I kind of read a pretty good amount of comics. I'm reading new stuff every week, so I don't, sometimes things I forget stuff, dude. And some things I've read where I was like, oh damn, did I even read that? I read there was a Conan story that I read. It was The Devil in Iron from Conan the Slayer, Dark Horse, and totally forgot I had read that, and I saw like images of it, and Cullen Bunn did a treating of it, the one I had read, and The Devil in Iron in there, and he was solid red, so he looked like Red Hulk, and he's not like the way I envisioned him in the book,
Yeah.
Totally forgot about it. It was in my head.
Yeah, that was something I thought about because I had thought about doing my own book,
You should.
And I had told Aaron Calamari there, like the idea of it and what all I had came up with, and he was nice about it and everything. He said, "Wow, you've came up with a lot, a lot to it." But the problem was it was all in my head.
Yeah.
And I was constantly adding it, and I was like, "Oh, I'd have to, in order to do this, I'd have to make like a Bible,
Yeah,
as they
100%.
call them, for my universe. I'd have to write all this down."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, that's gonna take."
Yeah, no, I mean, and there's like websites now that do that. They actually have websites that handle your lore, because sometimes you might have like a vast lore set and you need to hire an artist and you need to bring him up to speed on whatnot. Kind of a good idea in some ways, I think, depending on what you're dealing with,
And
it's a lot of work.
It was also, I don't know. I would have to start researching because I don't even know how to do like they call them scripts and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
because I'd have to get something to relay to let the artist know and everything.
Oh yeah, you just write a script and just kind of maybe panel 1, this guy panel 2, panel 3, or this all has to happen on this page and let the artist interpret it. Or you could do that. This is panel 1, 2, 3, 4. This has to be on the page. I do that for myself, because it's just easier for me. You know what I mean? But I used to put where the camera was going to be, all that stuff, but I don't do it anymore. And there's examples online too. But yeah, bro, I was even thinking about putting out like a prose story for each comic I have. So maybe write the prose, then break the prose up in the comic, because you have to get rid of all the words. You got to cut all that fat out. You have to draw it. But maybe I could give them both to you, in an offering. I think that might be kind of fun. Like, you read this first and read the comic after. Like, there's 2 different versions of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like the comic more. Oh, I like the written word more. He really dropped the ball in the art, and this character design looks stupid, but I love the prose. Or that's just something I've been thinking about doing. But like I said earlier, man.
The comic shop I sometimes go to, he had offered to let me write a story in his Halloween anthology book.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
Yeah, you can write I'll help you, but I never did do it. I probably should have, just so I could learn how to do it and everything, but I just haven't. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, no, you should do it, man. Like, I write stories all the time on my phone in the notes section.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll email it to myself from my phone. Then I'll go back, open up the email, put it in a thing, add to that. I've written whole stories on my phone, just typing. Because you never know, ideas, everything. I put that notes section to use, brother. I got like pages and pages of different concepts and stories, and you never know when you're going to come up with a good idea. But you should, man. You should act on that. Check out barbarian.com, dude. They have an anthology. I know you're into some of that sword and sorcery too.
I've realized I can't name things. I'm terrible at naming stuff. I did realize that when I was doing writing back in the day, I could never come up with names.
Yeah, that could be
every time I would name something, it would just be terrible.
You could always ask for, maybe some of your homies, or I don't know, maybe just think of the character, like what do they represent, or what relates to them. And what do you think sounds cool? What sounds cool? That's what I always say. To me, it's like the what's cool about it, the aspect of cool. To me anyways, at the end of the day, it's got to be cool to you. You gotta want it, you gotta love it, and hopefully other people might not. That's okay.
Oh, we got Mr. Fisk. He says, "Hey everyone, what a great way to spend my lunch break. How have you been, sir? I gotta get you one here."
Yeah, man. Mr. Fisk. Got to pick up Infantile Chronicles, man. I still got to pick those up too. Those are epic.
Yeah, I would recommend Infantile Chronicles. I enjoyed the first one.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Let me see here. Where did I see? He says, Tommy says, "Oh no, is the Gimp making another appearance?"
Oh no,
no, the Gimp. What? Oh no!
Watching some Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, you've been watching Pulp Fiction. Where are Sol and Marinus? We need somebody to back. Sugar wants to do a book. Sugar, my Red Dress Chronicles royalties are very reasonable. No. No. We are not doing Red Dress Chronicles. Get a lawyer.
The Lawyer Chronicle.
Sugar's contribution was going to be a body horror piece about how he smuggled his Urkel doll out of that KB doll.
Urkel was pretty funny, man.
You leave my Urkel doll alone.
What was it? Friday night Musty TV or TGIF back in the day?
Yeah. I have an Urkel doll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from back when I was younger. Because I still got the Urkel doll, and I still have 3 of the. No, is it 3? 2, maybe 2 Crypt Keepers.
Oh, hell yeah!
Tales from the Crypt. One, he's in his Hawaiian outfit, and the other, he's in his suit.
That's sick, dude. Have you ever seen the episode where they do the origin of him?
Oh gosh,
It's crazy. You should Google or you should type in YouTube. It's pretty wild.
I haven't watched Tales from the Crypt.
I haven't even seen them all, but I love the show. For a while I was going to try to buy them. You know, they're hard to find. I think they're probably on DVD now. Yeah, a lot of people backed the book already too. Like Chris backed it on launch night. You know, I learned a lot of stuff with this campaign, man. I'm really proud of, you know, like even though I got this many people to ride with me, you know.
Yeah.
A bunch of Hell Warriors stepped up. So
yeah, people are interested. That's always good.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. You know, 54 people. You know, that's
54 awesome. Backers. That's not a small amount of folks.
No, that means that there's some people that are down to read it. You know, so yeah, I'm happy about that. Yeah. You know, still starting off small. I've been doing it for over 10 years now, but I'm still, you know, nothing. I'm still trying to build. You know, so it's everything counts in large amounts. Yeah, I had the Pee Wee Herman doll. You know, I used to watch Pee Wee's Playhouse back when I was kid. I was born in '83, so yeah, I love that. And then the Burton movie came out.
I think I did too. I think I had Pee Wee.
Yeah, Pee Wee was a big top Pee Wee. Also, you know, he used to grow that little tree with little smokies on it. Funny shit. And the TV show had like Lawrence Fishburne and who else was in there?
Oh yeah, because he was the cowboy guy.
Cowboy dude, and then Rob Zombie. Yeah, back to Rob Zombie. He was doing the set design. He painted on there a lot of the walls.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. I knew he had worked on porn movies or something before.
Oh really? I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was an interview he did because I had, and I think what was it, Revolver? I think maybe back in the day, and I had the issue, and he was talking about. They called him like the Renaissance man or something, and he was talking about how he had done work, for porn movies, doing like editing or something. It was something in the back room, not scene. Like performing or doing a camera, but something behind it. And he had said he'd done various other works in these other different fields and done all this other stuff before he blew up and got big. And then of course. Then he started doing all the movies, and he did like El Super Beasto with the animation. And
that's a good one.
I like that one.
Yeah, I dug that.
That's probably my favorite of his movies is El Super Beasto.
Yeah, I like as far as his movies go, I really liked House of 1,000 Corpses a lot and Devil's Rejects. I know, and you know, watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're kind of just like a kind of rip off of that a little bit. But he is a collage artist. Like that's really what he does. Same thing with Quentin Tarantino. But he leans into it. He actually does collage art, like paintings. He's like, yeah, I'm a collage artist. I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of explains why you're directing is very similar. You know, I heard that he might be doing a remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre too, but I don't know if that was it might have been an April Fool's joke. I try to stay offline on April 1st because it's so annoying. You know,
yeah,
like it's really annoying. So I try not to go on Twitter, but there's still remnants like that kind of trickle through your feed, you know.
Yeah. Story got deep. That's Tommy.
Oh man.
Fist says worst job in the world, cameraman for a corn film. No Gallagher type provided.
Oh man. Oof, horrible.
Gross.
Oof. Yeah. But I do appreciate you having me on, man. It's fun.
Oh, no problem, no problem. We probably should start wrapping her up. It is getting kind of later. I never did hear from Sim, so he must have been snoozing.
Yeah, it's good to sleep, man. Those power naps we were talking about,
Yeah, he apparently needed it. I'll probably get a message from him later. He'll be like, "Oh, you didn't tell me about that stream, dang it," or something like that. He's like,
It happens. I'm going to be going on with Sim, I think, next Saturday. Or no, this Saturday. Yeah. These weeks are burning through. So that'll be, tomorrow night. I should be going on with Sim tomorrow night.
Well, there you go, everybody. You can continue the conversation with Mr. Matt tomorrow then over on Sim's channel.
Because today's Thursday, or today is Friday, huh?
Yeah, today's Friday.
Sorry, man, I'm losing my marbles. And my schedule has been moving around like crazy, and now it's starting to get somewhat solidified. So, yeah, should be going on with him on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. Haven't seen him in about a year or so. So catch up with him as well.
You skipped the ending of the Urkel story?
Did I do that?
Cliffhanger like that. What ending are you talking about? There's no ending.
Remember the Urkel cereal? Remember that? They used to have all kinds of cereal back in the day, man. Everybody
there was all kinds of different breakfasts there.
Yeah.
I don't know what Mo's talking about. Scroll up. What? Oh, what is this? Let's just say the Urkel doll breached the perimeter before Sugar did and splattered on the floor. Splattered? Ew, what? The security guy projectile vomited and Sugar could only ask, "Did I do that?" Breach the perimeter. Ew! Ew! No! Come on! Gosh dang it! It's like, what's he doing? Ew! Gross! Oh, where's Marinus? Hey, Marinus!
Hey, how's it going, Marinus?
You're popping in at the end.
Another brother reviewer of comics, man. We need more people out there talking, liking and hating and reviewing and critiquing.
So everybody,
talking.
I'll start to wrap this up so I can go get me something to eat and check in over on Mom's side, make sure her cats are taken care of. And for those people who are, thanks to everybody who tuned in with us. And thanks to all the people who watched the replay. Sorry, Marinus, that you came in at the end. Hail the panel, hail the chat. Yes. Good show, guys. Thank you, Mo. Thanks for joining me, Matt.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, man. It's fun catching up, and sooner than later, man.
And if you're interested in Hellwar, you still got 18 days to go, so you still got time to get you a paycheck or two in before you need to, if you need to get that money built up. Does Kickstarter still take it out at the end?
Yeah, they take it out at the end, and I'm including all the shipping in there too, because that's the one thing about Kickstarter. I mean, as far as I know, that's the way I think I set it up. Like where they take the money for shipping out right now, rather than you get hit with that $10 to $15 hit later on, like 6 months when you're doing filming. Like, whoa, what's this? So I set it up like that, and there's a lot of new features with Kickstarter they rolled out when I launched this campaign. So there's that. And, like I said, guys, you guys could check out I have my drive link up there, so you guys could check out the first 13 pages. You got to kind of wait and slow film. It's a little slower. And the song's up there too, a link on the updates if you guys want to download it. It's a pretty solid banger, you can break your neck to that if you want, rolling down the highway. So there's some free stuff regardless of the campaign if you guys want to check it out. And thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Yep. So thanks again for joining us, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.